It's 2025 Rookie of the Year betting picks edition of the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up at Underdog Fantasy, promo code MLB SGPN to get up to $1,000 in bonus credits. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost. Get up to $750 in cashback rewards each month when you sign up at edgeboost.bet and use the promo code SGPN. Welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Sunday. I've got no idea what the date is. 22nd, 23rd of March, maybe. Sunday night. It's all you need to know. And we are here to, in this episode, have a look at the 2025 Rookie of the Year betting markets. Our season preview shows continue apace. All of the divisional previews are out. You can go and find all 6 of them. We've got award shows. We've got a Manager of the Year show coming up. Tonight, Rookie of the Year will be followed immediately by the Cy Young Award. Myself and Dylan are going to go back to back. Joining me, he claims he's living the dream from somewhere in New York, is Mr. Dylan Rockford. D-Rock, how has your weekend been on this Sunday evening? You okay?
Oh, I'm doing great, living the dream. Don't wake me up. Had a great weekend. Went to a hockey game. Didn't really play
Tell
well.
me about that.
Yeah, the Devils, they're fighting for a playoff spot. 11 games left in the season. Great seats. Did not win, but got a free hat. I mean, going to gift night or giveaway nights are the best days to go. But it was good to spend with the family. Sisters up from Washington, D.C., so good to see her. And the spring over here, I don't know the weather across the pond, but over here it's starting to get a little nicer out.
We had a great week, a lovely week, Dylan. My garden looks a lot happier than it did this time last week with a week of sunshine. But yeah, I've just had a weekend entirely football. I went to Sheffield on Friday night, took the casino, but Bob had a match on Friday. Bob had a match on Saturday. We then went to watch. We went to watch Dunstan against Bradford Park Avenue in the Northern Premier League on Saturday afternoon. And then tonight, Bob's had a game as well. 7 o'clock on a Sunday night for an under-13 football match. That was hardcore, yeah. It was away from home as well, about half an hour drive. So I've just got back in. It's 20-10, and Bob's just limping into bed, having played far too much football this week, bless him. They got beat 3-0 as well. But looking forward to, obviously, the regular season. Thursday? We're only 4 days away. So the pick show will be on Wednesday. I also believe there will be a props show on Wednesday with Adam and Scott. So loads of stuff to look forward to. But the first up tonight in this double bill, we are going to have a look at the Rookie of the Year markets. If you're looking for all of our picks and podcasts in one place, you can download the SGPN app wherever you get your apps. I actually watched some March Madness as well last night.
Nice.
I've never really watched it before. I watched Michigan against somebody else. Texas, maybe? Was it? A&M?
Texas Tech. Texas A&M, yep.
Yeah. And one team were winning, and then the other team won. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
Pretty good explanation of what happened, Dylan.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's always one winner and always one loser, and you saw one of them.
Well, there you go. So it looks like I'm now a college basketball expert as well, so they can get me on the college experience. Rookie of the Year, I like looking at these markets, because it just sort of it feels like it sets you up more for the season as well. Getting more familiar with the names and the teams and the rotations and just immersing yourself in baseball stats. It just gets you going for the regular season on Thursday. Alan, look, sort of historically, the last 10 years,
Yeah.
only 2 pitchers in the last 10 years in the American League, plus Otani, if you want to count him as a two-way player. And then 2 pitchers in the last 10 years in the National League as well. Won Rookie of the Year. However, both the 2024 Rookie of the Year winners were pitchers,
Yeah.
Paul Skeens and Luis Hill. So that doesn't put me off at all, really. I was looking at numbers of innings pitched. Luis Hill pitched 172 innings. Skeens pitched 133. Skeens is a bit of a outlier. And Carson Fulmer was the other one. It won maybe about 9 years ago. 159 innings pitched, Carson Fulmer. But we'll start with the American League, Dylan, with the main names, and you can tell us who stood out for you. Jason Dominguez is the clear favourite here, plus 375. We then have Roman Anthony at plus 650, Christian Campbell at 7-1, Wilson at 8-1, and Jackson Jobe is plus 850. They're the 5 players who were in single figure prices here. So of those 5, normally I sort of go and look down each tier, and this one market particularly, I couldn't find anyone lower down. I normally like to throw out a 100-1 winner or a 66-1 winner.
Yeah.
Not a winner necessarily, but a 100-1 pick at least. But it did seem to me this market was pretty spot on, and the top of the market is where it was. So, Dylan, where were your initial thoughts drawn here?
Yeah, so on the AL Central, I was talking to Lonte about Jackson Jobe, and I think he could be really interesting. I don't know if he's going to start in the majors. So Jason Dominguez, Yankees outfielder, he looks good. Christian Campbell, I don't know if you've heard reports, but it looks like, they're going to try to get him at second base, and they're going to have Alex Bregman go to third and have Rafael Devers actually DH, even though he's been adamant about playing third base. So, earlier in the year, I really was on Christian Campbell, but, Alex Bregman signing kind of hurt the path in the immediate impact because he probably will play second base immediately. The odds obviously improved that after that. Roman Anthony as well, Red Sox outfielder, he looks pretty good. All those guys, Jackson Jobe, they all enter spring plus 800 or better. And, I like your style because you got to get someone who is a long shot because, injuries, they are a thing. They are very much a thing. And if this year's race is anything like 2024, don't be surprised to see some movement throughout the season. Look at last year, Wyatt Langford. He started at plus 225 favorite last year. And then look how just Lewis Gill came on and just took over. One guy that both of my guys for the AL and NL, long shots. I agree with the way you're doing it. Tampa Bay's Ray outfielder, Chandler Simpson, he stands out to me. Favorite long shot, especially at the odds, 45-1. Simpson, he's going to be the fastest player in the league very, very soon. He was drafted in the second round in 2022. He stole 104 bases in the minors last year. And Fangraphs, they're recording 52 stolen bases in 114 games when he comes up this year, finishing only behind Ella De La Cruz. Now, I think that's a little generous, 52, but I still think he's the second fastest player in the league. And, while I understand why his odds are as big as they are, he leads the league in stolen bases in that in the stolen base market at 18-1. But I prefer him to get AL Rookie of the Year. His debut might come later in the spring, but he's definitely a dark horse in the Rookie of the Year campaign. So in that Rays outfield, I really think he could start later in the spring, especially if they're not doing well. So 45-1. Give me Chandler Simpson.
Okay, yeah, that's a nice long shot. Like I say, I tried to find some long shots, but this was the one market. I know we're doing the 2 Rookie of the Year and then the 2 Cy Young tonight. And this was the one market where I really couldn't get away from the top of the markets here, Dylan. I'll go through sort of the leading contenders and my plays. Let me tell you about DraftKings. when it comes to college basketball and March Mania. One thing's for sure, nothing is for sure. Upsets, buzzer beaters, Cinderella's advancing, top seeds going home. Bet the unexpected, every upset every day with DraftKings Sportsbook. Live betting, exclusive content, promos and parlays. DraftKings is the ultimate college basketball destination for March. If you're a first timer, new DraftKings customers, bet $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Bet the unexpected with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the code SGP. That's SGP for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. And Rhythm is your home for AI picks and props. Rhythm already off to a great start, helping you dominate March Madness. Building your own custom model is easy and profitable. They've got models for NBA, golf, and MLB coming soon. Sign up today for a 7-day free trial at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Yeah, Jason Dominguez, for me, he had positives in lots of areas. He ticked a lot of boxes, but he just didn't jump out in any.
Yeah.
And I want something to really sort of turn my head. Playing time was a tick. He's got power. He's got some speed. Poor defender. I don't know how much of a difference that's going to be. He just didn't inspire me, Jason Dominguez. I didn't look at him and think, yes, he's the one for me. Roman Anthony was projected much less playing time. Tons of power. Could go on a tear, but was a little bit too short. Jacob Wilson at the A's will start at shortstop. An opportunity is one of the big things you need to be able to win this. If you're not playing, you're not going to win it. He will start, but again, he hasn't got too much power or too much speed. He'll hit for average, but not enough standout qualities for me to win. I think he'll be a very good player, a bits and bobs player, but not enough to win this. And then you mentioned Jackson Jobe, Dylan. I think he will start in the rotation. I like him. I'll be looking to see when I can bet him every 5 days when we're doing these shows. I'll definitely want Jackson Jobe on my side, but he's got a projected ERA of 4.64. His Ks per 9 is under 7. It's not really comparable to what Hill and Skeens were doing last year. So Christian Campbell was my selection. Now, you mentioned the second base thing. It does look like he's going to break camp. He's going to start at second base for Boston. Lots of speed.
Yeah.
But he changed his approach and drastically, in fact, which he was a contact player. And now he's unlocked a whole shit ton of power. Nothing spectacular defensively, but he hit well above 300 5 times in various levels of Pro Bowl before he got up here. He's got a really high ceiling. He could be a 2020 player. If he gets some momentum going, Christian Campbell would be my idea of the winner here. 7-1. And I'm disappointed I couldn't find a longer shot. I really am. I've got a couple for the NL. But yeah, Christian Campbell at 7-1. Like I say, opportunity knocked. And that's a great thing.
Real
if you
quick.
want to be involved in this, Mark. Go on, mate.
Yeah, real quick. Are you surprised that they didn't move forward with moving Bregman to second, or does this just show you that the organization is really high on Campbell? Because I thought they were gonna let Devers play third, but they're gonna let Bregman play third. I get it, but just having Trevor Story at short, Bregman at second, and then Devers at third—that's pretty stacked infield, if you ask me.
Oh, it's top class. Absolutely top class. The lineup, Duran, Devers, Bregman, Cassis, Story, Campbell. Got no problem with it. You got Sedan Raviella down the bottom, setting the table again for them. Why not? And it'll play out. It's a long season. There will be some movement. There will be some injuries. We know Trevor Story he'll be looking to DH maybe a little bit just to keep him healthy. So yeah, a long way to go for Boston. I'm sure things will shake out slightly differently there.
All right.
National League, Dylan. There's A little bit more open here with there's 4 players trading at single-figure prices here.
Yeah.
Top of the market being Roki Sasaki, a player we already saw, who pitched in Tokyo this week for the Dodgers. Dylan Cruz, Roki Sasaki's plus 250, sorry. Dylan Cruz, Washington outfielder, plus 325. Matt Shaw, the Cubs, at 4-1. And then Bubba Chandler is at 8-1. It's 12-1 bar those. Obviously, Dylan, we did see Sasaki pitch the other day. The case for Roki Sasaki is pretty obvious. I think he's too short for me to be betting. I don't think people have tuned in to this show to listen to us give out sort of plus 250
No.
favourites. So someone that really the talking horse that we know about. I've got just slight concerns with him about health overall. And there was a little dip in velo last year. I mean, he was fine the other day. The pitchers were on a short leash. Everyone who pitched in Tokyo this week, we didn't see them in their best light. But Roki Sasaki at 5-2. Dylan, was he your guy, or did you look a bit further down the list?
Yeah, I looked a little bit further down. Like I said, I got long shots here for the AL and NL. And, I think I was on the show with you talking about the NL East. Dylan Cruz is very live, I think. I don't like to go chalky at plus 325. I see him at plus 350 at certain books, so shop around. But Dylan Cruz, like if you do want to go as a favorite, I do think Dylan Cruz is a playable option. And this is the second year in a row a Dodgers pitcher begins as the betting favorite to win NL Rookie of the Year. We saw it last year with Yamamoto. He started last year at plus 250. Signed that huge deal. What was it? 12 years, 325. This season, we see it with Sasaki plus 200. Plus 200. He opened up at a plus 300. Coming over from Japan. Don't let the contract fool you, though. Sasaki, 23-year-old right hand. He's going to be a very valuable addition to this rotation. And you mentioned early on, we're going to see not just Dodger pitchers. We're going to see a lot of pitchers early on not really go past 70, 80 pitches, really starting to find their rhythm a little bit. But I do think this is going to be a little more competitive race in the NL. I said Dylan Cruz. I mean, he played 31 games for the Nationals last year. He has some experience, and I think he's a contender. If you want to go chalky, that would be my play. I think he's an option. Maybe you could get a better price in season, but I'm more interested in long shots for this market. And I'm going to go back to the NL East. And I saved this because I thought I was going to be on this show. But Miami Marlins third baseman, Davison De Los Santos, 66-1. He opened up at 16-1. He might start the year in the minors, but he's definitely a candidate worth targeting if he gets called up early enough. He led the minors 40 home runs last season. He's powerful. He chases a little bit. I think that's an issue, which is why he's down at the minors. But I think there's a chance he plays anywhere from 130 to 140 games. He's going to be called up. And I think he's definitely a viable option at 66-1. We got to look at past years where long shots wind up getting the nod. We'll talk about the AL in about an hour or so, but look at Chris Sale. He was a long shot. Injuries are part of the game, and I think you can't always go chalky. So 66-1, he has the power, and I think he might be the best hitter in that lineup. He just has to have a better eye. He chases a lot, but 66-1, it just caught my eye, Mal.
Yeah, I hadn't really looked at. So I was just checking. I thought I'd muted myself. I hadn't really looked at him, but I've just sort of dragged his numbers up here. Projected, just like you said, 343 plate appearances. So he's going to get enough playing time. He's just a child, 21 years of age. But yeah, he's not got much speed, but he's going to hit for power. He's got some home run power. I like that a lot. Dylan Cruz was a name I know Noah Beanick was very sweet on. He tipped me off about Dylan Cruz a good couple of years ago. Noah is very good. It is rookie ball. But yeah, I looked a little bit further down as well for my plays. I'll give you those once I've told you about underdog. Underdog pick'em. You can play in any sport and win up to 100 times your money. Our code is MLB SGPN to claim a special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. Underdogfantasy.com, promo code MLB SGPN. And SGPN has partnered up with Edge Boost, the premier Visa debit card for bettors. An Edge Boost card allows you to avoid the hassle of having your card denied at any of your favourite gambling haunts. You can earn up to $750 per month in cashback rewards for using your Edge Boost card. Your money's safe as the card is FDIC insured, and there's no credit checks. It's completely free. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet. Promo code SGPN. Short price. He's going to start at third base, so he's got the opportunity. He's above average. He chases too much as well. And his defence is just a little bit meh, so I wasn't really drawn to him at 4-1. Bubba Chandler's really interesting at Pittsburgh. He's trading at 8-1. And Jared Jones, what makes Bubba Chandler interesting is the injury to Jared Jones, because the Pittsburgh rotation looked pretty locked in. But Jones, I fear, we haven't had confirmation for Jones. He only exited like 2 days ago. I think it's going to be a bad one for Jones. So Bubba Chandler could get the chance. He's pretty raw, 22 years old, fastball, slider, his changeup's getting better all the time. He would need the opportunity. He'd need to get to 100 pitches plus whatever. I don't know if he will. Further down the list, bigger prices, 20-1. Again, I was looking for opportunity. Drake Baldwin, the catcher. He's going to start the season. He's got loads of power. Got a chance to stick around if he starts. Well, another catcher is Dalton Rushing on the Dodgers. 60-1. Really top defensive catcher, but loads of good stuff he does offensively as well. He can get on the roster, I think, pretty quickly, even in a timeshare with Will Smith, and he'll be rock solid, Dalton Rushing. So he's got plenty of ceiling. Looking at this, I looked at Rhett Lauder of the Cincinnati Reds, which firstly made me remember just how deep the Reds' pitching is. I kind of forgot about that. The Reds are going to be sneaky good this year. Rhett Lauder is 33-1. He started 6 games last year. We saw him pitch 30 in 2/3 innings to a 1.17 ERA. Now, he's on the injured list at the minute. And the Reds do have quite a lot of depth, but I thought it was worth a mention because I like him. But my pick is going to be a name that was really talked about in hushed tones for the last couple of years. A revered name. Almost Paul Skeens like, and it's Andrew Painter of the Phillies at 33-1. I have bet him. I bet him a few weeks ago. I mean, like I say, big name. Picked up a $3.9 million signing bonus when he signed. It tells you how highly he's thought of. Had Tommy John, and Philly have been so careful with him. Like, incredibly careful with him. Even when he's been ready to pitch, he's told them he's ready to pitch, and medically they think he's ready to pitch. They've still totally wrapped him in cotton wool. He only got back to facing live batters on March the 14th. But he'll be up the second Philly convinced that his stamina and commander there. Like I said, not dissimilar to the profile of Skeens last year. The key is how much playing time he gets. But I guess that's why he's 33-1. So, yeah, Andrew Painter at 33-1, I thought was my play of the day. Christian Campbell in the American League. And I do like, I say, Dalton Rushing, probably at 60s, would be the other one I would bet. Dylan, Andrew Painter, I saw you get. I got a little raise of the eyebrows off you. You looked like.
Okay, I hate to say it, but he is good. And everything that I've read about him and the Philly journalists and the media, they are very, very careful with him. And the moment that they sense just the slightest struggle out of Jesus Luzardo, he is going to be called up. My worry, and I was going to ask you, I think he's good. I think he's really good. My question to you is, are you, for this market, for Rookie of the Year, I know we saw last year 2 pitchers win it. Are you more inclined to bet on pitchers to win this or every day? Because I'm more of the sense where I like every day because they're going to play every day if and when they're called up, as opposed to pitchers who are pitching every 5 days.
part of the reason I looked at those stats at the top as to how many pitches had won recently was because I wanted to pick Painter, but I
Yeah.
didn't want to pick him if he had no chance. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like 2 out of 10, American League and National League, two pitches in the last 10 years. And the fact that they were both pitches last year didn't put me off. Now, Skeens was the favourite, and we talked about him. Everyone was buzzing for Paul Skeens there. Lewis Hill really came out of nowhere. I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, do you know roughly what odds Lewis Hill would have been last year? I've got no idea off the top of my head. Like,
Oh, I have no
it's
idea.
worth having a look. But no,
Yeah.
it wouldn't put me off. Like, I made sure to look into it because I did want Painter, and the fact it just wouldn't put me off at all because I do think he can be as good as Skeens. But I know what you mean, the everydayness of it all. But none of
Yeah.
these hitters particularly stand out. Dylan Cruz we saw enough last year, and
Yeah.
he's on Washington.
Mhm.
So there was just not enough to make me want to pick him at plus 325.
Yeah, I'm seeing Lewis Gill last spring entering the season. He was 50-1
There you
to
go, yeah.
he was 50-1, and Paul Skeens was 30-1, and they both winded up
Skeens that
winning.
big, wow.
Yeah. So
You see,
I
the
mean,
hype's even got me thinking that he was 2-1 favourite.
and that's why I kind of went with the long shots here for the Rookie of the Year, because if Paul Skeens and Lewis Gill, I agree, he kind of came out of nowhere. Yeah, he was on a good team and he was kind of moving along, especially at home. There were a lot of opportunities. I remember being on the show with you and just being like, Lewis Gill at home is just, you have to back him. It's like kind of like Logan Webb in San Francisco. But yeah, that's kind of the reasoning I went with long shots, because injuries will happen. And, you know, that 55 or that 66-1 price is definitely not going to be there come July or the All-Star break. So that's why I kind of like those shots. And we got a good CLV price there.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Love it. Well, I think we're done, Dylan. Cheeky half an hour for Rookie of the Year. If you are live watching us and you're hardcore enough, in about 90 seconds' time, we're going to crack on and do the Cy Young Award. Dylan's got his hand up like a naughty schoolboy. What do you want to do, Dylan?
Like I'm in school. Real quick, come in. Got a trivia question, because you come with me with trivia questions.
I do that to you, yeah.
MLB teams with the most Rookie of the Year awards. There are 8. The team has 18 of them. Can you guess the team that have the most Rookie of the Year awards?
That is a great question. Let me go with. Oh, I don't know what to do here. It's got to be kind of one of the old guard teams. I'd say, give me the Red Sox.
No, the Red Sox are not even in the top 6. The Dodgers with 18. The Brooklyn/LA Dodgers have 18. Next is the Yankees with 10.
Yeah. You see, the way you asked me, when people ask questions like that, it's because normally it's like an unusual answer. So you throw me a bit of a curve there, because I tried to pick something off the beaten track, and you come at me with the two powerhouses of the Dodgers and the Yankees. So yeah, very good, Dylan. One to you. It's going to be a long season. I'll get you back before long. Right, okay. Thanks everyone for listening to us. As I said, go and find the rest of the MLB pre-season content which is out there, and in about 90 seconds or so, if you want some Cy Young chat, we will be all the way back. So thanks, Dylan. Appreciate it. Cheers, everyone, for joining us. Good luck with any picks that you make, and we will see you all down the road. Cheers.